Hey everyone, it's David, and I'm back with another update for the audio Bible for Love of the Word. I actually filmed one last week, and for some reason the camera didn't record the audio, so I went to go edit it, and it was just me going. Anyway, I didn't have time to refilm it until now, and so I'm knocking out two videos right now. I'm giving you an update, and then I'm doing a Patreon welcome video because the book of John is finished. I just have some minor tweaks to do. I think my wife Allie's going to be singing for the end track just a little bit. Nothing lyrical, just like oohs and ahs. She's really, really good at that. So I'm going to be adding her to that last track where you have the resurrection of Jesus. And so I'm really excited about that. So we're going to get that knocked out. The book of John will be done. I've already mastered and remixed the instrumentals, and so when John comes out, it will be the audio Bible with the instrumental underneath. And then there will be a soundtrack for the book of John if you want just the music. Say if you go through the audio Bible and you want to then read it through yourself, and you can have the book of John soundtrack with you while you're reading the book of John if you want. But they'll all be on Bandcamp. But again, I'm getting the Patreon website together. I'm getting Bandcamp together, doing some final tweaks to the book of John. I hope to have it out and available within the next week, and then be talking more about the Patreon website. That's where I'm at with the update. It took longer last week to finish the last two tracks of John, which was the trial and crucifixion of Jesus, was John 18 and 19, and then the resurrection, John 20 and 21. I was really having a tough time with the music for the trial and the crucifixion of Jesus because it's a somber moment. I mean, serious moment. You feel the weight of the enemy where Satan comes back at his opportune time to tempt Jesus. And so it was a time that was really heavily covered in darkness. Satan thought he was winning, but he really wasn't. And so that time is actually a very victorious time for Jesus and for the believer. And so I wanted something that captured the solemnness of the moment, the seriousness and the weight of the moment, but at the same time something that captured the victory. And so I'm really excited about the music that came out for that. It took me about 2 or 3 days of just trying different things and sounds, and I'm like, I like that, but it just doesn't fit here. And so I think I got something that really fit. And then the very last track for the resurrection, I added a flute part in there, but done on my guitar. My wife actually plays flute, and she does these parts. She'll play like regular flute, but she'll breathe in such a way where it sounds kind of like one of those old wooden flutes. Pretty excited about the flute sound. I was able to mimic that pretty closely. So Omi, if you're listening, that's actually not Allie playing flute, that's my guitar. But you'll probably think when you first hear it, you're like, oh, Allie's playing flute. Excited about the music. I've actually been listening to the Book of John soundtrack over and over and over again because I'm enjoying it. I like it a lot. And so, again, both those albums will be released as separate works, but together on the same day they'll be released. I'll let you know as soon as they're out, and then, again, working on Patreon. Also, I don't know, did you guys see The Case for Christ? My mother-in-law bought us tickets for that to go on opening day, and my wife and I, we appreciate the work and the sincerity behind many of the Christian movies that are out there. But, I mean, even the new ones that are showing some improvement in the acting and the story and cinematography, there's still this element of cheese that it's like we can't get away from. And so it's like, okay, God, is that just like we get the humble movies or something? But anyway, we went to go see The Case for Christ, and we were both blown away. The cinematography was incredible. The story was so good, and of course, I think many of you might know it's based on a true story. And the acting was like zero cheese. It was actually really, really, really good. And my wife and I, we were just like, not like a bawling mess, but just, you get the soft tears or whatever in your face or your eyes, something. We were just kind of like in tear mode the whole movie. It was so good. It was so good. So anyway, I'm not getting paid to mention that. I'm just saying it was a good movie. It made me excited, and so it was definitely worth going to see. Then that day too, I found this Jesus painting that turned me into even like a huge bawling mess. I went to the Family Christian Bookstore to look for good deals on Bibles or books. I was on my way out, and all of a sudden there's this painting of Jesus. And I'm just like, it hit me, and I'm like, a piece of art's never done that to me before. And I'm just like, bah! So I ended up getting the painting, and my wife was across the street at Joann's, and so I went in. I'm like, I found him whom my soul loveth. Anyway, so I came home and hung it in the office. I guess I'll show you. I often kind of get bored of hairdos, and so I'll grow my hair out, do something with it, and then I'll cut it. It'll be all short and spiky and everything. And every time I grow my hair out, I'll see people that I hadn't seen in a while, and they're like, you look more like Jesus. And I'm like, yes! That's like my goal every day. I'm closer on my way there to looking like Jesus today. There it is. Anyway, don't forget to go download Psalm 119 at forloveoftheword.bandcamp.com for free right now. It's just the single that I put out so that you can see what this audio Bible is going to shape into. Stay in tune for announcement on Patreon, and then, of course, when the book of John is going to be released.